Hey guys, it's me again, back with another tutorial for you guys today. I'm going to be doing a brow tutorial for you guys today. Brows are a super hot commodity right now, and it's definitely a good thing. I'm going to talk about the importance of them and then do my left brow for you guys. I know I probably look a little goofy right now because I have one brow done and not the other one. There is a reason for that, and I just got back from the gym. I didn't do brows today, and then I'm also going to be waxing my eyebrows tonight too, so I will actually draw them on and then wax around that so I don't wax off any hair that should stay. So that's just a little tip for you guys. If you do at-home waxing, I definitely recommend drawing your brows on first, so that way you just, if you're trying to grow your hair out like I am, which I'm going to talk about why, that would be a good thing to do so you don't get rid of any of those necessary hairs that you definitely need. The first thing I wanted to talk about before I go in this is why it's important to do your brows. Your brows, I mean, again, I have one brow done and not one. Look at the difference in my face on the left side, and then of course on the right side. It definitely frames my face a lot better to have brows. And then as you guys can see on the left side, I'm really thin in the brow. It doesn't go down as far as it should, and your brows technically should extend all the way to that outer corner. They should extend all the way in, which mine do not, as you can tell. And then your arch should go from the corner of your nose right up here. And my arch definitely is there, but I don't have enough hair to grow in. And that's because it was super cool in the 90s and 2000s when I was growing up to thin your eyebrows out as thin as you could get them. And I wish I never would have done that. So for all you girls who have a unibrow at 15, keep it. You're gonna want it. Don't keep the unibrow, that's not pretty. But I mean, seriously, don't let somebody wax your eyebrows off to be these thin, pencil thin eyebrows, because the problem is that like me, you're not gonna be able to grow them back in. I have been growing my eyebrows out for 6 months, maybe a year, and this is as good as it's gotten. And I'm never gonna be able to grow them in as far. Hair just does not grow there anymore. So that's my tip. Keep your brows. If you have full brows, I promise you, you're gonna want to keep them. And hopefully that no eyebrow look never comes back. So anyway, so you guys can tell that clearly I have to extend my eyebrows, and that's what I've done here on the right. And then I can't go all the way in. I'm just, that does not look good on me. And I've tried it, and I just seriously look too much unibrow because I don't have any hair to grab onto. So I can only go so far. Okay, so my favorite brow products. I have used pencils. I have used the, like the brow gels, and then I've used brow powders. Pencils are great, except for the fact, again, that I have to fill in. So I used to do pencils whenever I wasn't trying to fill in as much, or like a day like today, whenever I'm not going to do brows, sometimes I'll use a pencil just to pencil in over what I have, or this clear brow gel, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit once I do the left one for you guys. But my favorite product right now that is out is the brow powder. I absolutely love it. My favorite brand is by Anastasia, and we sell that at Sephora. I've run out of that brow powder, but I have Nyx Brow Powder here, and I think it's in the color Brunette, and this works for me. It actually comes with a wax base as well, and then it has 2 colors, and that's really great because I can alternate between the 2 colors, or I can just use one. And you can see that pretty typically I tend to use this color right here. So I'm going to demo my left brow for you guys, and hopefully this will help you guys if you're struggling at home with how to do brows. And here's the thing, I can tell you the other thing that I always tell people is that girls are really concerned about making their brows look identical. They're supposed to be sisters, they're not supposed to be twins. So here's the deal, I mean, just do your best and practice, practice, practice. There are days where my brow game is not on point, and then there are days where I never want to remove them because they look so awesome. So you're just gonna have those kind of moments. Just keep practicing, keep doing it, and if you have, you know, tiny little brows like me, fill in with what you've got and let your brows grow. Stop waxing them off, let them grow as far as they can, and I'm gonna teach you how to extend today and make it look as natural as possible. So here we go. I'm going to take my little brow powder, and I'm going to dip my finger into that wax here, and I'm just going to just tame those babies down. So there's my wax. And again, if you guys don't have wax, you don't have to do that. I only use it because I have it. It's not necessary. I mean, I've done brow powder without the wax before. I just use it because I have it. And then I'll take my little spoolie, and I'll just brush these guys just out and downward. Some girls brush down. I don't typically do that. I want them to lay down because that brow gel is going to be the key here in just a little bit. So I'm going to take my little angled brush. Again, this is the stuff that comes right in the little Nyx powder deal. Can't think of the word. Awesome. Anyway, so I just dip my angled brush in here, and I'm going to start on the end. Now, guys, keep in mind, your darkest color should be on the end. You definitely don't want super dark up here. You want to fade that. It'll be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to start on the end, and this is where I'm going to extend that brow down. And I'm left-handed, so I hope you guys can see this. I'll do my best to keep my hand out of the mirror, but at the same time not messing up my face. So here we go. So I'm going to take my angle and just extend straight down from that where my brow stops. And then I'm going to start to fill in above. Ooh, this is hard to do with a camera. Here we go. I'm going to rotate. Okay. Can you guys see? I hope. Okay, so then I'm going to just extend above my hairline a little bit because I want to make these a little bit more full. I like a fuller brow for me, and this gives me that. And I'm just going above, not super far, as you can tell, just a little bit. If I want to make them fuller, I'll tend to extend them down below too, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. And then I'm going to come where my brow stops at and take that powder, and I'm pushing it up into that hair, and you can see I'm already starting to get a fuller brow from doing this. My hands are a little shaky because I've not had any fuel after my workout yet, so if I look a little bit like my hands are shaking, you guys are going to have to excuse it. And then what I start to do is just fill in the hair that's already there to make it look natural, so I don't have like two-tone brows. And as you can see, I'll try to look in the camera a little bit, but then I can't look in the mirror, so that won't work. Okay. So just like that. And then here's where I have to focus on extending, because you can see again, I've kind of angled this one off. I'm going to do the same thing here because right now it looks kind of funny. So what I do is I take the end of my brush, that angle, and I touch it right to the end of where that powder stops, and I just start pulling it backward into the hair, and that closes off that awkward angle for me. And then I just kind of fill in if it's a little bit lighter. Again, I don't want to make it black right here, but I do want to make sure that since I'm extending past where my hair grows, that it looks pretty natural. So we're just going to fill in, and I always keep that angle up here. And then if I'm on this end, I make sure, well, actually, no, that's wrong. I keep that angle up the entire time. I was thinking I would spin it down, but I don't. Look at me telling you guys something that I don't do. Okay. And so I just fill it in as natural as possible. And then we're about done. That's it. It's even as it's going to get. And again, I've got sisters and not twins. Hold on. Whoop. There we go. Oh, my camera. Okay, the stand kind of fell a little bit. And so then what I do after that is I take my brow gel. This is just a clear brow gel. Now they do have these in different colors. You can get them in blonde, you can get them in brunette, you can get them in a lot of colors. I don't do that. I just take what I have. And then I want to pin these suckers down. Like, I mean, seriously, this is the brow gel by Anastasia. Again, that favorite brand that I love so much. Anastasia's brow stuff is the best stuff out on the market, hands down. And if you're not going to use that and you want a drugstore, Nyx is the way to go. And they sell Nyx products at CVS, like I mentioned in my last video. So, anyway, so here we go. So then all I do is just one sweep to pin these babies down. And I do that on the left side. And I can promise you that if you're in freaking Chicago and you're out in a windstorm, your brows are not going to blow. I mean, they're just going to stay where they are, and they'll do that for, 24 hours until you pull this stuff off. And that's it. That is it for brows. It's super easy, and like I said, girls, just practice, practice, practice. It's not hard. You got to have a steady hand. I'm a lefty. I have a lot of problems with this right eye, so I always do this one first because this is the one that I tend to want to strip off and redo. And in fact, my left one looks a little goofy today just from the angle of the camera. But nonetheless, I mean, like I said, there are days where I have my best brow days, and then there were days where I'm just like, okay, my brow game is not on point, we're wearing a hat. So that's what I do, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful. I'm gonna try to film my look for Halloween. I'm doing 2 different looks, and hopefully I'll get that out to you guys. And if I don't see you before then, everybody have a happy Halloween and enjoy it. Have a great one. Bye.